Welcome to Wealth Made Simple with Shaz, where you'll learn how to master your money through business, property, and tax-saving strategies. Your host has collectively helped his clients make tens of millions of pounds in additional profits through these strategic approaches to business. Introducing Shaz Nawaz, an award-winning chartered accountant, property tax expert, entrepreneur, and property investor.
This week on Wealth Made Simple, we're talking about the building blocks that help you create financial freedom. And I think that's a very important topic because building blocks in itself, Kieron, is what helps create a sustainable business, an enterprise and wealth.
I think it's one of those topics that the dream for a lot of people is financial freedom. And how much money do you need to be happy, Shaz?
It depends.
Okay, let me rephrase that. How much money do you need to consider yourself financially free?
I think it depends on what one's outgoings are. So if you ask me that question, let's say 20 years ago, the answer would have been different to what it is today. And I tell you why. Because as you progress in life, I mean, we don't always, but we talk about this regularly, as in somebody gets a 50% or 100% pay rise, and they say, "Oh, life's going to be very different now." And like I was saying to you on the way here, the restaurant food tastes better, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Okay. Yeah.
And the clothes fit better, don't they?
Always.
Okay. And the car drives better, doesn't it? Okay.
Yep.
And the house probably feels warmer as well. But the bank balance
stays the same.
Stays the same, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
The more that comes in, the more that goes out, up to a certain level.
Yes.
So the number today that I'd share with you is probably, I'd say 10 times bigger than what it would have been 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Because now you've got a bigger house, more cars and bigger cars to run. In my case, private school fees to pay and everything else that comes with it. Yeah. And it's always easy to improve. It's always comfortable and enjoyable to some extent when you improve and enhance the quality of your life.
Yeah.
Whether it's a bigger house, bigger car, whatever it might be, or it doesn't have to be bigger or bigger. Bigger doesn't mean better. Something different that you want. And it's not so enjoyable when it goes the other way around.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, yeah. So you get comfortable being comfortable, don't you?
You do.
And to then change that is very hard.
I think by and large it's a mindset thing and a discipline thing. For example, my house is worth a little over £250,000. I've got a mortgage on that. I pay my mortgage monthly. I've got my bills that go with that. Yeah. But I don't live an extravagant lifestyle, but I don't, also necessarily scrimp and save every month. Yeah. I don't do terribly. But we drove past a house that was for sale the other day, and I mean, it's stunning.
Yeah.
It's up for sale for £30 million.
Wow.
The amount they need to be comfortable and to have a lifestyle and to pay their mortgage if they've got a mortgage on a property is a very different figure. The figure I need compared to the figure they need. So what I'm getting at is the amount you need to be financially free depends on three things. Your personal circumstances, whether you've got kids, what jobs you've got, what other forms of income you've got, what passive income you've got, what generated income you've got, what businesses you own, if you own any businesses, and your lifestyle, what quality of lifestyle you have, what you're prepared to sacrifice. Because don't get me wrong, there's always got to be a degree of sacrifice.
And compromise, yeah.
And compromise, and how disciplined you are. And once you combine all of those, it's a very individual and personable amount that you need. I might decide that if I suddenly get an influx of £100,000, £200,000, £300,000, I'm going to blow it on a holiday, and my lifestyle is going to stay exactly the same apart from that holiday. It's going to be one of the best holiday I've ever been on in my life. Or I might incrementally increase the quality of my life over a period of time, meaning that my outgoings slightly increase comparative to the amount of money I've got in my savings. So now, as you said, the restaurant food tastes better, the clothes fit better, the car drives nicer, all of these things, because we all do it. You get a bit of money in, you get a bit of wealth in, and suddenly you want to celebrate, you want to reward yourself, because that's what we do. So you reward yourself. You don't just go out to that restaurant once, do you? You go out to that restaurant once a month, which
interesting you say that, and you're right. Most of us are like that. And Charlie Munger, who most people won't know, but when you mention Warren Buffett, most people do know, because Warren was the face and better at marketing himself, I'd say, than Charlie was. Died at the age of 99, and he'd been 100 next month. And I started watching his interview, and I've not finished it, but he lived in the same house for a long time, and drove the same car. A bit like if people know about Warren Buffett, same car. And Warren Buffett's not a big fan of flying private jets either, until he bought a share into that private jet company, NetJets. Or NetJet, or whatever it's called. And Charlie despised that, because his mode of transport was, and for him, he said it's a luxury, was traveling by train, and at best first class. And he said people just aren't disciplined enough. This is a billionaire talking. People aren't disciplined enough. And we're going to talk about some of the things, not that he shares, but which are in line with his philosophy as well. And I mean, I don't know about you, Kieron, but if I had that level of wealth, I wouldn't have the discipline that Charlie's got.
No, I 100% no, I would not. I would have, if I had that level of wealth, there would be holidays, there would be, time abroad, there would be a nice house in a nice area. I'd possibly have it built myself so that I can have exactly what I want. So it would be a custom design house. It would be a house of exceptional beauty. I would put all of that is cost on cost on cost on cost on cost. But you're a billionaire, you can afford it, right? But if you take that back to the macro level, if you're on, say, average UK salary, £30,000 a year, and suddenly you get, double, triple your wage coming into your home, do you live the same lifestyle, or do you have the discipline to go, actually, I know I can live on 30,000 a year, so all that extra goes into investments, savings, growing my wealth, growing my financial base.
To make tomorrow easier.
Or
bigger and better, whatever the word.
But you've got to have that discipline. And that's hard, because when you get a success like that, you share it with your friends, your family, your loved ones. And suddenly everyone's like, oh, you're doing well. Oh, do you fancy doing this? And suddenly, and it will be little costs that add up that you don't realize. There'll be invisible costs.
What's the first thing that you do, Kieron, after you realize you just won 100 million on the lottery? If you do the lottery, I don't, as you know, but I don't think you do either. But if
no.
you were to, hypothetically speaking,
first thing I would do, set up a trust fund and a business.
No, you wouldn't.
And go on holiday.
No, you've not been paying attention, have you? See, it's 2 weeks away, and look what happens to you.
Christmas.
Look what happens.
I know, right? I know.
Oh no, we need to spend more time together again. The first thing you do, you ring all your family and all your friends and tell them, I've got a massive problem, and I need 100 grand or whatever the figure might be, and I really need it tomorrow. And then you see them drop off one by one, bang, 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 because most of them don't, won't, or can't lend you money.
Yep.
So now you've had that interesting but odd conversation, and people might argue it's unethical, but as you know, I'm just making it into a joke more than anything else, and sharing an important point. And
then they find out you won the lottery.
And then say, oh, no, I can't, blah, blah, blah. And then they find out the day after you won the lottery. Well, they ain't going to be ringing you in a hurry and saying, oh, can you lend me 100 grand now? Because 2 days before they said to you, or a day before, I can't do it for whatever reason.
Yeah, true.
You know? And so that's the first thing you're going to do, by the way, when you win that lottery. Okay? So when you ring me and then I say I need 100 grand, mate.
yeah, you'll know.
It's being transferred.
I'm right there. I'm sending the money now.
Send me bank details.
Yeah.
But it is what it is, and you're right. So people want to share that and do what they like. But again, something interesting. I was watching yesterday, and I mean, it depends what one's interested in. Is picking up business lessons. Frank Williams.
Yes.
The owner of Williams,
yeah.
The Formula One racing team, and how kind of he started and what happened. And the big thing I picked up from him there, and there's many lessons, by the way, is perseverance. So many years in the 60s and the 70s, Kieron, okay, Williams wasn't going anywhere.
No. They were at the bottom of the barrel.
Didn't win a single Grand Prix, okay, in those years. Now, most people, including me, would have said, so this for a game of soldiers.
Yeah.
Let's find something else. But he stuck to it. And I think, I don't remember the exact year now, but I think in the late 70s.
They started winning.
Okay. Changed the slight design the car, so they say, and then started winning. Yeah. And then for people from our era, we'll recall a guy called Nigel Mansell. And he comes along and the rest is history. But that long haul, though, and we've talked about this so many times, and this is one of the things about the building blocks of financial wealth, which is perseverance and small, and tiny steps over a long period of time. Now, slow and long people don't like when it comes to financial wealth.
No, they want it straight away. They want it instantly. Instant gratification.
No one wants to do the hard miles. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody wants to say everybody. The majority of people want it fast. It just can't come fast enough.
Yeah, and hence the phrase "get rich quick." Get rich quick or die trying. Yeah. I think is the full phrase.
Yeah.
And no, get rich slow.
Yeah, because observe the masses and do the opposite. The masses are trying to do it quick, and we know quick doesn't work.
Yeah. And
apart from certain circumstances, we should go down other episodes. Yeah.
The thing is, whenever we say, don't get rich quick, you can't get rich quick. Yeah. Yes, there are exceptions to the rule. We all acknowledge there are exceptions to the rule, but it's not the rule. It's not the general rule, and it's not the general rule for the majority of people. So, take it for what it is. Yes, you might be the one person in a million that gets rich quick. Okay, great. Good for you. I hope you do well. I hope you hold on to it. Because financial literacy, I think, the building blocks of financial freedom come with, education, discipline, perseverance, and small incremental steps.
Well, that's this episode done now, so we've got another 45 minutes, and we can talk about something else.
But no,
I
mean, to take a slightly deeper dive on that, it's if you can't manage £100, and the second someone gives you £100, you spend it. You can't manage £200.
How we do one thing, how we do everything.
Yeah. So, because you do, and we get a lot of naysayers that say, "Oh yeah, but I'll never be financially free. I'll never manage my money properly. The second it comes in, it's going out. I've got more month at the end of the bills." All of these excuses, and people might be angry at me for using that word, but it's an excuse, because I do truly believe that if you have the discipline, budget, look at your account every day, and that's key. Every day, look at it every day. Know to the penny what is going in, what is coming out. And I promise you, there are places. How often do you go out and get a coffee, £3.75? How often do you eat out? Do you shop at the cheapest supermarket?
It's a single thing that's going to have the quickest impact for anybody.
Monitor
Look at
your
outgoings and then list them out. Okay, day by day, week by week, month by month. Okay, quarter by quarter, year by year, and then for the whole year. Why? It's that how much money I'm bleeding on this thing here. I use the word bleeding on purpose.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
Do I really need that?
Yeah.
Okay, and you're gonna everybody can save something substantial based on whatever income that they have.
I've had conversations with people where you look at their outgoings and it's like, okay, well, you've got gym membership. When was the last time you went to the gym?
Exactly.
And they're sat there going, well, no, I need it because I do go to the gym. I went to the gym 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago. Yeah, okay, but when you went to the gym, what did you do? Did you go on the treadmill? If you did, go for a walk, go for a run. The streets are free. Well, they're not, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I lifted some weights. Okay, maybe at home you don't have, the big weight machines, and you can't put on the big weights. Do you have any books? Do you have a bucket? Do you have some tins of baked beans? You can improvise. There are,
but there's quite a few parks now, even here in Peterborough, okay, where they've got outdoor equipment which you can use.
Yeah. So,
plenty of it, by the way, depending on which park you go to.
But I
think it's called an outdoor gym or something.
Outdoor gyms, yeah. But the point is that yes, going to the gym is nice. I personally do enjoy going to the gym, and I enjoy going on a regular basis. I'm getting to go more now because I'm now at the right side of the day for my circadian rhythm.
You're liking,
Yeah, and so that's good for me. And I'm not begrudging anyone going, but I'm saying if you need to cut costs somewhere, that's the first place you can go. Yeah. Oh, I need my Netflix account. I need my Sky account. You need entertainment. You want entertainment. Sure. I'm not going to begrudge anyone that. But do you need all of them? Do you need Disney Plus, Sky Go, Netflix, Amazon, Paramount?
Yeah, but you spend an hour and a half deciding what you're going to watch. By that time, you could have watched something.
There are about 17 different, exaggeration, but there's loads of streaming services out there, and you've probably got a subscription to all of them. I would genuinely look at which ones you are using. What do you go on first?
Well, track it.
Write it
down.
write it down.
It sounds boring and monotonous and tedious, but
it's
right.
it's the way way you'll save money.
Yeah. So,
and that $8.99, $9.99 a month, $15.99 a month, whichever subscription you have, $15.99 a month is a little under £200 a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people complain about paying the TV licensing fee. Well, you're paying that fee for a subscription.
Yeah. So you're right. So that's a very important building block. See what's coming in and what's going out, and monitor and manage that. Okay, according to whatever outcome that you want, which is extremely important.
Yeah, and this isn't just about money management. This is about self-management.
Yeah,
because you need to be disciplined in yourself. You need to choose yourself what you are prepared to.
100%.
Because getting financially free is possible for everyone, and success leaves clues. We've said that loads of times.
Yes.
And the first clue is education discipline, and self-management will breed money management. Money management will breed an influx of money and have a positive net effect on your bank balance, and that positive net effect on your bank balance will lead to financial freedom.
But here's an interesting one. I was talking to a client today who's very wealthy, doesn't need to work ever again if he chooses to, but he's an entrepreneur. Of course he's
going to. Doesn't know how to stop.
And we were talking about a particular deal in property, and we worked out the numbers, okay, and he went into a few million. And he was talking about refinancing and all that kind of stuff, so he can get all his money back, and he can get a margin as well. But he said, "I don't want the margin. I'd rather leave it there because I've got enough cash to invest." And look at the rental income, paying out the cost of debt and everything else. What's left over? 75 grand. Okay, and we said, okay, there might be some one or two of the costs that come up every year. Okay, because there's 25 odd flats and 6 commercial units.
Sounds like a nice deal.
It is, and a very nice deal. And I said, yeah, you're probably left with 50 grand, okay, to be on the safe side every year. He said, what do you reckon? I said, that's good. Because you got 50 grand coming in every single year. It'll be higher, by the way. It'll be 75 to 100, but let's call it 50. And then that's net without you doing anything. I said, in your case, that's a couple of nice holidays. Okay? Paid for you and your family. For other people, obviously, 50 grand would do a lot more for them. But in his case, a couple of nice holidays a year. So that's paid for. Or private school fees for your children or a child. And I said, then over a 10-year period, you've got the capital appreciation as well. And some increase in the rental yield. Interest rates might change and come down at some point, and you refinance and fix it. So there's a bigger margin. I think it's good. You know what he said? Absolutely right. I agree 100% with that particular philosophy. This is what, okay, and I said you do one or two of these every single year, which he does, or he's going to do, because you're doing other stuff as well, which builds it up. And I said, I haven't got the time. I said, yeah, you find people who've got the time, and then do a joint venture with them. Okay? And if I was to set up somebody who wasn't experienced, or was in their first year, or was early, I said, we're talking about a few million quid here, and talked about how to fund it and everything else, and giving maybe 50% away to somebody who can do the deal. Say, I don't think that's right. I'm giving 50% away, blah, 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 blah. In the end, I'm going to create, you're saying, worst case, 50 grand profit after all costs. Best case, 100 grand. So I'll be left with either £25,000 a year or 50 grand a year. Okay, if it's 100 grand. And I'll give them 50% away. I don't like that idea.
I do.
But I'm honest, I'm telling you. I've had those conversations. It just seemed like too much effort. I think, well, hold on a moment. This is the mindset thing. Look where you are now. Okay, you're creating an additional revenue stream.
And you spoke about that previously.
Yeah.
The importance of multiple streams of income.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, which again is here today because I think it's one of the most important lessons that I learned, and I've seen people around me, because success leaves clues. So I've been looking for those clues for a long time, as you know, Kieron, you have too. That's one of them, by the way. And same with Buffett and Munger. And but the guy who's really successful, who 50 grand to him, maybe 100 grand, is insignificant. Is insignificant. Okay, says no, that you're right, because he knows slowly.
Catchy monkey.
It works because he knows the fast stuff. Usually, you get your fingers burnt.
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes it might work. Most times it doesn't work. Okay. And he's now learned through experience. Okay. He's in it for the long haul. Yeah. Whereas most other people, unfortunately, who aren't there, say, "Oh, it's not worth it."
Well, I mean, let's expand that further. Say it's the low end of the spectrum, and it's 25 grand a year after all costs that you're making profit between two people. Yeah, you do 10 of those deals. Show me another deal where you're almost passively earning, with 10 of those deals, £250,000 a year,
and increase in capital
appreciation
over time. And that 25 grand will probably go up as well if you time it right and do some other stuff.
And I mean,
make it work.
When you think, okay, we know historically, because learn from history, don't repeat its mistakes. If you can hold on to a property for longer than 20 years, and long-term appreciation, house prices double every 7 to 10 years. So take my property.
Even if it's 15 years.
Even if it's 15 years. But take my property at 250 grand, that doubles to 500 grand. Take the property I saw at 30 million, that doubles to 60 million. Do you see what I mean? Just hold on. If you can get in at those prices, get in now. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now.
On that note, by the way, before we go into our topic, I think people don't spend as much time talking, conversing, as they should do. And it's all on text messages and WhatsApp and all the other mediums and email and messenger.
Yeah.
Which people lose this ability to communicate and negotiate.
Yeah.
I don't mean negotiate by doing deals, just generally, because every conversation, pretty much to some extent in a roundabout way, is a negotiation of something.
Yeah. And I think there's also a degree of anxiety and fear actually having a conversation. Because over the last couple of weeks, I've had to have some difficult conversations with people at various levels of business, and some of them haven't liked to hear what I've got to say. But I'm the only one that could say them. I'm the only one that had the knowledge and the backing to say them. Okay, cool. But if I wasn't able to have those conversations, or wasn't confident in my own knowledge and being able to have those conversations, then how would problems get resolved?
But that's a building block as well, by the way, Kieron.
Yeah.
Okay.
Communication.
Communication, but with that, which is more important, because I would go down or deeper a level or two and say, get comfortable having those difficult conversations.
Yeah, I agree. No, nobody likes having them. It's. I mean, I say nobody. There's going to be somebody out there that enjoys
but the majority
it.
don't.
But the majority of people don't enjoy. Yeah, it's if your child's naughty, you don't enjoy.
You know, Kieran, you're right. And the more that I've learned, the more that I've compromised on those things, the more it's cost me overall.
Yeah,
that's just my experience. Different people might have a different experience. Somebody can share that.
Yeah, by all means.
Okay.
But it's been my experience that when you see people compromise on having those conversations, telling their child no, or no, you can't do this because it's not nice, it's naughty, it's wrong, yada 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 yada. When you compromise on because you don't want to have that difficult conversation, you don't want to hurt someone's feelings, you don't want to upset them. But when you compromise on doing that because it makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable, then the knock-on effect goes to society a lot of the time. And suddenly it's, the next time.
You compromise who you are, okay? And a building block linked with that, okay, is all about identity and values and having clarity, because that was my first point really, on people being very clear.
Sorry, did I take us down a rabbit hole?
No, I think it's my fault this time, for a change.
Well, it's nice to hear you admit it.
No, but I'll blame you because you've influenced that over the years. So still your fault by the overall.
Always.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Yeah. But it's always somebody else's fault, isn't it?
It's always somebody else's
our
fault,
is it? I mean, do we ever do anything wrong?
No, I am a perfect individual.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
I couldn't say that with a straight face.
But having the difficult conversations doesn't mean being awkward.
No.
And it doesn't mean being rude or abrupt, okay? And there's other words I could use for that, but I won't do here. It just means addressing something, nipping it in the bud before it gets worse.
Or becomes a bit bigger problem.
And people leave and then it becomes a bigger problem. So I think it's important to have that. But you were talking about pies and slices and shares.
Yes,
earlier.
So there's, going back to the example you gave where, 25,000 split two ways.
25 each,
25 each. And, and we've both heard people say, oh, but that means I'm giving away 50%.
Yeah, what's the point of doing that?
What's the point? I'm giving away too much. And that's a very selfish point of view. And you're doing yourself a disservice, because only by working together can you do bigger deals, unless you are vastly wealthy in the first place. But if you're vastly wealthy in the first place, you're already following these tenets anyway. So this becomes circular. If you're not wealthy but you're selfish, then you want to hold everything for yourself. You want it to be yours. You want to be in control, all the rest of it. And people aren't going to work with you. You're not going to want to work with anyone else because it means giving away half of your profits. Okay, well, let me ask you this. I'm going to give you a pie. In that pie is your profits. Now, you can choose to have 100% of the small pie or 10% of the big pie. The small pie is worth £10. The big pie is worth £1,000. Which do you want?
Well,
do you want to take the 10%?
It's obvious, isn't it? Yeah.
And that's the thing that people always gloss over. They're like, oh yeah, but I want 100%
Rather
of the big
rather
pie.
have 10% of something than 100% of nothing, because 100% nothing is nothing.
Yeah.
And people just can't let go.
No.
I've just seen it. So this is real. I mean, in my own life.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
In business, where you try and convince people and think, there's got to be more here. I think, but this is a really good deal. I'm telling you, I would do it, but it's your deal. Okay, whatever it might be, whether it's a business or something else. Yeah. Okay, I mean, last week I had someone approach me and he's looking to. We were talking about scaling up, and I think 2 weeks ago, okay, I did an episode on how to buy a business without using your own money.
Yeah.
Which is what I shared with this client, okay? And he's a pretty smart guy, you know who he is, and a very smart guy, in fact. And he went away and found a deal. So I said, okay, he said, but how do I structure it? So I told him through the steps again, which I covered most of them on the episode a couple of weeks ago. I said, this, and this is how you're going to make it work, and this was going to happen, and this is how the money flows and everything else. And he said, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, then they said, I'm going to go away now, and he's coming in on Wednesday to talk about getting the person who's selling to agree the heads of terms. Simple as that. You could have made a fuss, this sounds complicated, and I've got to find somebody, and then you're talking about this concept here, and then this is going to happen, and that's going to happen. Who would do this? I would do this. Who cares if you wouldn't do it? Just because you wouldn't do it, whoever you may be, doesn't mean everybody else won't do it. Don't try and be other people, because you're not.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But you get that so many times. But okay, but I wouldn't use that piece of marketing. Wouldn't work on me. Really? A, you're not your customer or client or patient. B, it's probably working on you all the time. You just haven't realized.
Yeah.
Okay. But just because you won't do it, look at your client base. Are they like you? Not always.
Not always.
Not always.
Well, I mean,
because people say, and again, kind of going off on a tangent here, but I'll come back. It's people say, my clients, they're a pain in the so and so. Okay, they don't pay on time. They don't do this time. They don't do things on time. Always blah blah. And say, okay, who took them on? You did. It's not their fault. It's your fault for taking them on. I think it was Peter Drucker. I think it was. And I can't remember, but don't hold me to it. Who said that clients
need managing,
like children, but are a direct reflection of the business owner.
Yeah.
Depending on how disciplined you are, how you structure and manage your business, because this is an important building block, helps you define the type of clients you take on. Because if it's not compliant, what do? Say okay, or say one and only chance, by the way, if this is how we work, and you were told this when you joined, okay, yep. You came into with your eyes open, we've done what we said we would do for you, but if you do this again, okay, it's a one-way exit.
Yeah.
Most people don't do it. They compromise. Don't have that difficult conversation. It's not that difficult to have, but don't have that difficult conversation. Just leave it. And then all of a sudden, they're working day and night, okay, every hour God sends, and think, well, this isn't working. Well, you allowed them to do this to you.
Yeah.
Okay, you the minute you compromise that, it's a slippery slope.
And then, on top of that, you end up in a fear loop. Oh, I can't have that conversation with them now. It's been too long. No, you can, and you need to. I don't want to have that conversation with them.
They're an important client. I like them.
I don't want to lose them as a client. I'm going to lose the business is going to lose money. Well, by doing work for nothing, you're already losing money.
That's the interesting one, though, because as you know, I've told you, but I used to go up and down the country coaching, consulting, 3,000 consultations. These are really important clients, 2 of them are here, but I don't really like them. Let's do some analysis. So we do the analysis, margins, blah, 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 whatever else. On most of them, they weren't making as much money as they thought they were. Revenue, yes. Margins, profit, no. And then, okay, let's look at your top 10% of your customers. Most of those by profit, not by turnover. Most of those don't feature there. Usually none of them feature there. Most of them don't feature there. Well, get rid of them. Yeah. Well, now they're armed with that information, by the way, Kieron. Now they're open saying, okay,
yeah,
let's do it.
That conversation.
And now let's find a way of getting better people in. I mean, some shit don't do it. Oh, 150 grand or whatever, or sometimes a few million, by the way, off my top line, and I don't think I could afford that. You carry on. I've given you the information. You can take them.
Take it or leave it.
You can lead a horse to water, but
you can't make a drink.
So people don't want to do that, and then a building block of that is you've got to be fearless.
Yeah.
Whether you are or not, you've got to acquire that skill, learn that skill. Simple as that. If you're not willing to, you're not going to.
Well, it's
be as successful.
Yeah, I mean, and I think people misunderstand fearlessness as an overall thing. When you actually look at it, I mean, I do things that scare me, and
well, you're here.
Well, this is it.
I mean, now you're a pro, but the first day you were stuttering and shivering. And...
Yeah.
No,
very different man. Very different.
That's not true.
But no, seriously, I do things that scare me, and there'll be that little voice in the back of my head that says, "This is terrifying. You're going to mess this up."
Why did you listen to Shaz? I knew this was a bad idea. He's got me to do this again.
I know. Yeah, all of those things. But it's having that self-discipline and
the belief.
We're coming back to personal discipline again, self-management, to go, yes, I am scared. I acknowledge that. I acknowledge that fear, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Face the fear and do it anyway.
Yeah.
There's a book title in there somewhere.
There is, but we can't share that here. Yeah. Yeah, it's got some F's in it.
Yeah.
Feel the fear and then,
Yeah. Feel the fear and do it anyway.
Yeah, that's right. But here's a very important one, by the way, which most people miss. One is people think that wealth happens in a vacuum.
Yeah.
And it doesn't.
No.
But with that vacuum, what they also do, Kieron, is they make it sequential. I'll do this, then I'll do that, then I'll do that, and I'll do that. And the reason why I'm not sharing an example is if I share an example of what this, that is, it won't apply to every single person. Different people, it's different things. But what they don't...
Do them all at once.
Sorry?
Do them all at once.
Yes, you do them all at once, yeah. But yeah, right. So
I know.
It's not sequential, simultaneous.
Yes.
And yes, you've got a lot of plate spinning, and you've seen some of the stuff that...
yeah.
So I get up to know that stuff, and sometimes I think, what the hell am I doing? Okay? And it just gets piled on and on and on and on and on. But it's good, and some of it works and some of it doesn't work. And
sometimes you break a plate.
And yeah, I mean, just be honest about that. That's fine. Because, I mean...
not everything works.
And over the last 20 years, I've seen the really successful ones lose some big money, but I've seen them make it as either make it back, or at the same time make a lot more.
Yeah. And
that builds their resilience into not being fearful. Because once you've lost 10 grand, for example, and 10 grand is a big deal, now you're not that scared of losing 10 grand.
I've already done it.
You don't want to, exactly, but you know what I mean? Then you next time, okay, and and the best thing is, you can think, how do I make that back now?
Yeah.
Okay? And if you're smart about it, you will. And the next time you're not that scared of losing 10,000, and maybe the 10,000 could be 50,000, maybe you might even say, well, I think I might even be okay up to 100 grand. So you're building getting out of your comfort zone. Do you know what I mean?
Off the back of that, I mean, three things that sprung into my brain while you were talking about that. The first one is Michael Jordan has missed more shots than anyone else, but he took more shots.
Yeah,
that's why he's widely regarded.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yep, but it's why he's widely regarded as the greatest of all time. Now that's up for debate. People can have their own opinion on that, but I like
Michael.
I do.
I kind of grew up with him, as in not with him, but seeing him
in his prime. But like you say, you miss 100% of the shots you never take. He took more shots than anyone else. He missed more shots than anyone else, but he took more. The other one was I've completely forgotten. It's gone out of my head.
Well, while you think about that,
that was it.
Go on.
Sorry. Scrimp, save, find a way, travel first class once.
Yeah, and then you're doomed forever, is what I tell people, because you know why? You get taste for it.
Yeah.
And thirst for it. But no, you're right.
But then you'll find a way to do it again.
And you know what I said? Okay. I used to have a Rolls Royce Ghost.
Yeah, beautiful car.
And I always say to people, it doesn't have to be a Rolls Royce, by the way. But get into a car you want,
Yeah.
whichever manufacturer, dealership.
I miss my Jaguar.
And yeah, I know you're a Jaguar. But sit in it and smell the leather.
Yeah.
Okay? Test drive it. Because that now, okay, is going to create some level of excitement and ambition in you.
Yeah.
If you happen to like cars.
Yeah.
If you don't, find the other thing, whatever the other thing might be. Okay? And all of a sudden now, just like the thing of first class, because people say to me, okay, I'm thinking of traveling business class, should I? I say, absolutely do it. But remember one thing, you're never gonna enjoy economy again, by the way. So just let's make a plan here to make sure that you're always on business class.
Yeah.
Okay? And by all means, I mean, this is my personal feeling experience about it. Different people have different feelings about it. I think the extra is worth the extra.
I agree.
I
agree. It is.
Where somebody said, "Oh no, it's £1,000 to travel to X, and you're paying £3 or £3.5 grand. That £2.5 grand, I can go then and I'll spend it on food or whatever else. That's fine. That's up to you. That works for you. Fine, okay. But because people find, and then I'm going to spend £2.5 grand or extra that week on food or how long they're there for. But it's different people think differently. But it's a mindset thing more than a physical of experience thing, if you know what I mean.
So it is a mindset thing. It's the abundance mindset. If I say I've got to spend £3.5 grand to travel first class, okay, I'll find a way to make that back. There's plenty of money out there. I can make that. That's not a problem.
Some, yeah.
Oh wait, no, that £3.5 grand. That's a lot of money, Shaz. It's only £800 for the economy ticket. I'll spend the 800. I'll say, because now I'm saving myself £2.5 grand on that ticket price because I'm traveling economy. Are you saving it? Really? I mean, you're now saying you don't have it to spend in the first place. I'm saying I'll find the money. It'll be fine.
And there's a deeper conversation in this, and again, some people will agree and some won't, Kieron. Okay, it's about being good to yourself because we're all good at beating ourselves up. It's about perceived self-worth.
Yeah. And I am.
But so just to interrupt, we've got a question here from someone who says, "I have a question. Can you please answer it for me?"
Sure thing. Go for it.
Please
What's
go for
the question?
I'll just hopefully they're all listening, so they'll share it. But share it quickly, please, because we only have about 5 or 6 minutes remaining. But it's about self-worth.
Yeah. And
it's the same thing about entrepreneurship. Just very quickly, people say they always pay themselves last, and now sometimes I don't get paid and blah 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 whatever.
No, pay yourself first.
Pay yourself first.
Yeah, pay yourself first.
And think you're worth it, and you'll travel business class, and you've earned it, and you deserve it, and everything else. Okay, tell that story to yourself, and watch the magic unfold.
Yeah.
People think there's some kind of mystery to it. There's no mystery to it.
Just changes your life.
It changes your life. The whole thing. The question is from A1.
Yep.
I've started a successful business.
Well done.
Good. And now other people are copying my marketing, but doing it in a haram, which means kind of not permitted.
Why?
In a way, okay. Am I part of the sin that they do despite my marketing efforts being halal, as in permitted, not showing women without hijab, no music, etc.? Appreciate what you're doing. I'm not sure what that last kind of comment means about no music, etc. But I assume he's saying in his marketing. So this is somebody obviously who follows his personal belief being a Muslim. So there's things that are permitted and which aren't permitted. Which I know you understand, Kieron, for some of the other people who might be listening.
I'm with
you. And he's saying people are copying his marketing, but doing it in a different way. But that's not anything bad for him.
No, I mean, what you're doing, I would say to you, our listener, there is that if you've got a successful business and you're doing well and it's all going halal and you're doing
kosher,
all kosher, then you do you, boo.
Yeah.
Focus on yourself. Don't worry about what because you can't control the rest of the world, so don't try to. Accept that there are other people out there that they're going to do what they're going to do, and you can't control that. But if you can go, It's like we say. You've said before about tax. Is it legal? Is it ethical? And can you sleep at night?
Yeah, that's right.
As long as you've got those three things, and you know you are a good person doing good, don't worry about the rest of the world. Let them do them. You do you.
That's right. So and what they do, by the way, is not
Reflective
your
of you.
problem or reflective of you or you're doing. You just carry on yourself. They're copying. By the way, it's good that they're copying you. You're doing something right. Okay, so do more of it and go for it.
Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
And you're not going to be judged for what other people do anyhow.
No.
So don't let that affect you or in any way take up too much of your thinking. Focus on, like you said, Kieron, focus on yourself and do that stuff. So we've talked about sequential and simultaneous. We talked about slow and long journey.
Always have a long-term view.
We talked about small and incremental steps, which is important, okay, and thinking in the long haul. We've talked about multiple streams of income. Just taking off my list just to make sure we cover it. We've talked about this here. We've talked about what leads to financial freedom, perseverance. My last thing, and we've got 3 minutes, unless somebody else, and the chap says, I say chap, the person, sorry, says, thank you, appreciate it, you're welcome.
You're most welcome.
Sends the salam, so
most
to
welcome.
You. Is synergy, and this is partly linked to the example I shared earlier, is thinking, what does somebody else have that I don't have, which might be a natural fit or not so natural fit, an extension to my business, okay, which helps us create synergy and possibly, I call it 10x growth, okay, and that's been used by quite a few people nowadays, but it will X your growth, whether it's 3x or 5x or 10x or whatever, okay, and people miss that, and the reason why they miss that is they don't, again, want to give something away.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
And giving it away, okay? Because someone's got stuff that you're not selling, but they've got customers who will buy your stuff. They've got customers who will buy your stuff.
You've got customers who'll buy their stuff.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? And you think,
work
let's
together.
Link this into some kind of a partnership. Not always easy to do, okay?
No.
And I don't mean a formal partnership, but a mutual understanding, okay? And I've seen it so many times. The Americans are better at us, by the way.
Yeah.
They call it affiliate marketing, okay?
Yeah.
But it's not. This is more than that. But that adds a lot of bottom line profit, Kieron.
Oh.
And it's an important building block once you get to have a place where you're looking at simultaneous and not sequential.
Yeah.
Okay? And we've got Faisal who says, better to have a good mutual understanding and regular referrals.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. I think the other thing that is really important to have is a plan. Show me a top 100 business, top 500 business that doesn't have a 1-year plan, a 3-year plan, a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan.
The Chinese who think about centuries as opposed to years and decades.
But go around your friendship circle. Ask people where they want to be in 5 years.
They can't see that far.
I know where I'd want to be in 5 years.
Yeah.
You know where you want to be in 5 years. We've got those plans in place.
Yeah. And just to kind of touch on Faisal's point, there's a way to cultivate referrals.
Yeah, there is.
One is hoping your clients send them, and if you do a good job, yes, they do. But one is arming them, tooling them with helping you get more referrals. And one of the most important things most people don't do enough, Kieron, is once you get a referral, how do you reward the person who's giving you the referral so they do more of it?
Yeah.
Because we just expect it, they're a client of mine, I do a good job. It's their job to refer. No, it's not. They're not on your sales team. They're not on your payroll. They're not paying you. And this is not towards Fester, by the way, because he makes a very good point and he's very smart about this stuff. Hence why he mentioned it. But a lot of people don't
encourage it or thank them.
In the right way, by the way. So, I mean, a handwritten thank you note is something, but there's more to do.